I'm excited to be back, my man. It was 9 days in Vegas. We got stuck in the desert, and we had a little hangover remix out there, man.
I wore a wig to school once, and they said no headgear was allowed.
How did
spider web
was it
tights.
Obvious that it was a wig?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was having fun.
Wig.
See, this is exactly why we have them on the show, and this is what makes them fun.
You're listening to KXVS, the voice of Stockton, 92.1 FM.
Do you want to relive the golden days of Stockton? Join Nate Knott on Stockton Alive every first and third Monday at 6 p.m. Tune into thevoiceofstockton.org.
My name is Miriam, and I am the voice of Stockton.
The views and opinions expressed in the following program do not necessarily reflect those of KXVS, the voice of Stockton, or its parents, affiliates, management, and staff.
KXVS, the voice of Stockton, presents The Lyme Show with Marilyn Fialkow Chadnick.
Welcome, everybody. This is Marilyn Fialkow Chadnick, MSW, Health and Mental Health, here for The Lyme Show. We have it every Thursday around this time. Today we're going to have a fabulous guest, one of what I call a genius of a genius doctor, Dr. Steve Nelson. Before that, I have to mention the person who helps us with the show, Dr. Raman Manshadi, Manshadi, and he wants you to buy his book, Wisdom of Heart Health. And the proceeds go for defibrillators to help those who get a cardiac arrest on the soccer field. And I am asking you to donate to our nonprofit, Dream Ahead, the Empowerment Initiative, Disability Rights and Social Work Consultation. Yes, please send your donations to care of Marilyn, MSW, Lyme Show, 231 Bedford, Stockton 95204. So please do that. So welcome, Stephen Nelson. How are you today?
Good. How are you guys doing? Good.
We're doing okay, and today's my birthday, June 21st, the longest day of the year.
Happy birthday to you. You're 29 again.
Yes. Or sometimes I'm 39, because that was Jack Benny's line. Yes,
right.
I'm 39 again, and it's the longest day of the year, the first day of summer, and my birthday means everything to me. So don't feel that you can't send in your card or your gifts. So, okay, so, Dr. Stephen, I guess you're stuck with me first, asking you questions.
What? Say that again. I didn't hear you.
I guess you're stuck with me first, asking your questions. I'm not sure when the other people are going to call in, because I advertise to all these Lyme groups that I know of and all kinds of people. And I said we would be on between 2 o'clock and 2:50. So meanwhile, you've got me. I'll probably end up as your patient because I am still suffering from Bartonella. I did have a doctor from this show cure me from the Lyme's, the pain from Lyme that I was getting in my back. But I still have Bartonella, those, chicken scratches all over my arms, and I don't know how I can tell if I still have Babesia. So what am I supposed to do?
Well, if you look at these particular infections, first of all, they will tell you it's all Lyme, and that is not true. They are parasites.
Oh, so people are telling me it's all Lyme. It's not true. They are parasites. Yet you are supposed to be the genius in getting rid of parasites. Uh-huh.
In 1975, we identified Lyme.
Oh.
And at that time, people said, well, it's a tick-borne disease, because most people we identified was from the Midwest, northern, eastern states, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Massachusetts, places like that, back there, New York, Connecticut, etc. But if we took a closer look at these people, we found out that they have plenty of reasons to have exposure to particular protozoal infections. Well, a protozoa is still a parasite.
Yes.
So when we take a look at that, we said, well, is the parasite the whole problem? No, it's not.
No.
Many people, these infections become opportunistic because of bad diets, toxic small bowel, toxic large bowel, and toxic liver.
And toxic liver.
And that's where a lot of this stuff came from. So
wow.
Then we started taking a look at the large number of mold people that I have had mold exposure. And to an extent, you're in the right part of the country for mold exposure, even though down here in the desert we get people with mold.
So I'm in Stockton, California, so I would be northern than you, and there's more. You say there's more mold here?
Well, there's a lot of mold, and areas where there's more humidity. I have a lot of people that have mold that are around the ocean, some of the places like San Francisco, South Bay, Monterey, etc., etc. Even inland from there a little bit. So mold exposure probably leads into this. Now, Horowitz and I were talking about it. He said, yep. He said, I didn't mention much in my writings, but in fact, mold is a big deal.
Oh, yeah, and this is Richard Horowitz, another guru in Lyme. Although you're I always call you the genius of the geniuses, so you're still number one in my book, and I've had all the geniuses almost on the show. Okay, go ahead.
I appreciate that, but getting through the explanation about Lyme is not easy. And really, everybody talks to me on conference calls or patients, and they talk about the co-infection of Lyme. Well, that is true to a point. But in fact, when you're dealing with this type of problem, you also have to deal with parasites, yeast, virus, and bacteria. You've got to deal with all four.
I have a horrible problem with yeast because I'm not supposed to, eat gluten, and yet all these gluten-free breads have yeast in them.
Yeah, they do. There's no... I don't eat any bread at all. So there's just way too much activation. Bread is basically sugar, and sugar is the enemy in any of these cases. So that's a major deal. So we start going forward with Lyme, and we identified a problem, a series of syndromes called MSDIS, and you've probably heard it.
Actually, I don't know those initials. Just tell me what it is.
MSIDS. Multiple System Infectious Disease Syndrome.
Oh, multiple infection. Okay, thank you.
So MSIDS. So when we started treating these people, we took a look at why are they having so many infections. Well, one of the reasons is a lot of people that are adults today were born with a bad thymus gland, THYMUS.
Oh, they're born with a lot of people are born with a bad thymus gland.
And if this thymus gland is not activated, for whatever reason,
here is a caller.
Or they've been exposed to radiation or chemtrails or bad food, bad water, bad air.
Here's a caller, Dr. Lynn Shepler. She was a guest on here once, but she's calling in to ask you a question. She is both a psychiatrist and a lawyer, and I got her pretty excited about you.
Is she on speaker?
Yeah, I think she's on speaker. Can you hear me, Lynn?
I can.
Is it okay, Lynn? Can you hear me?
Let's turn this up.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, because we got the doctor on the line. Okay, Lynn?
I was hoping he was...
Yeah, he's on the line.
I cannot hear her, but...
He can't hear her.
All right, hold on a second.
He'll have to put the two mics together so they can hear each other. I don't know what he's going to do as a radio.
Can you hear me, Dr. Shepler? Hold on just a moment, Doc.
So now we got to get the two mics together. How do you work?
Don't you dare worry.
I can't worry with this genius we have as a radio manager. We call him Governor Don. So
All
I'm.
right, Dr. Shepler. Dr. Nelson, can you hear each other? Hello?
Hello.
Well, I can hear you.
I can hear you.
All right, almost. We almost got it.
You can hear the doctor, Dr. Shepler?
Doctor.
Yes, I can.
You can? You can hear him?
Yes.
Okay. I think they can hear each other.
Doc, can you hear Dr. Shepler?
Yes, I can. Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead, Dr. Shepler.
Actually, I apologize for interrupting because I was actually hoping to listen more. My question may thus become the...
Marilyn, you're going to have to repeat the question because I can barely hear her.
All right, let's just do that. Hold on.
I can barely hear her also.
Dr. Shepler, go ahead with your question.
I was actually calling in hoping to just listen, but since I'm being asked a question, this question may, and I apologize.
Well, I lost you there.
Okay,
No,
we're still here. All right, go ahead, Dr. Shepler.
The radio manager will repeat what she says.
Maybe coming out of left field, but I'm presently very concerned about the introduction of Lyme.
She said she's presently concerned about the introduction of new vaccines for Lyme disease. Go ahead.
Oh, boy. Doc, that's a can of worms.
He says that's a can of worms, Doc.
I don't know if you're familiar with a gal that wrote a book. I've got it written here somewhere. She is a MD PhD from Stanford. Her name is Marilyn Wadman.
There's a Marilyn Wadman, a
And she talks
PhD.
about, in her book called The Vaccine Race, about how there's a rush to production to make proper vaccines. Well, the problem with that is they're not identifying the proper cultures, especially when it comes to virus, because a lot of Lyme, if there is Lyme syndrome, is in fact viral-based. There's a lot of people walking around with reverse transcriptase viruses, and if you start getting that, of course, the thymus gets suppressed and everything goes south. But what Meredith said to me, she talked to me a couple of weeks ago, I said, we've got a mess, and there's no way that we can absolutely isolate anything. I don't know how, and believe me, I'm not a big pro-vaccine person for anyone. I don't know how you can take a Lyme with an attenuated Babesia or Borrelia and be able to isolate it so that it doesn't mutate to give a vaccine. That's where I have a problem. And I have a problem with what they use to preserve it. They can use monkey serum, they can use rabbit serum, they can all kinds of different serums to incubate these particular, what they call bacteria in it. And of course, if Lyme were so simple, why wouldn't we just treat Babesia and Borrelia and it would go away? Well, it doesn't, because of all the mutation occurring and because of underlying yeast, virus, etc., etc. So to get close to that, it was Meredith was telling me, is really a difficult game, and it's very hard to get these things isolated because the planet's becoming more contaminated all the time. How are we going to get around this? That's kind of where we left it. So I have a problem with the Lyme vaccine. Unless, and the other problem is how much are people's immune systems being suppressed, so when you give the vaccine, they don't get worse. Or they don't get, say, needle-induced more exposure to the problem. That's what I have a problem with.
Yeah, so there seems to be a...
Thank you very much.
There seems to be a problem with getting a Lyme vaccine. So, Lynn, Dr. Lynn Shepler, you were once a guest on here. Do you have any more questions for the doctor?
Not at the present time.
Not right now?
I actually would like to listen more because I realize he has many. He's very thoughtful and he has many unique things to say.
Yes.
That one normally doesn't hear. I think in.
So is this your only question for now, Lynn?
It is, Ms. Chadnick.
Oh, okay. So thanks a million for calling, Lynn, and I hope you can hear the rest of the show.
Yes.
Thanks a lot. Nice to meet you.
And thanks for
Yeah, she's a lawyer and a psychiatrist, so there.
Oh, she's dealing with a lot of areas on this continuum, believe me.
Yeah, she does a lot of politics about Lyme. Okay, bye for now, but not forever, Lynn. Okay, I think I had another person calling. I think his name was Scott, but I don't know how to get him back. I'm not really, I don't know how to get, let me see if I can get him back. Scott Mobile, he called. Okay, he's calling again. His name is Scott, and he has a question. I'll try to put the phone, Governor Don left for a second, so I'll try and put his phone near the, okay, welcome Scott. I'll put you on with Dr. Nelson. I'm trying to get the...
Can we get that?
Yeah, okay, this is Scott. You know him.
Hello, Scott. Can you hear can we hear you?
I can't hear. I can hear you. I can't hear Dr. Nelson yet.
Okay. Oh, say something, Dr. Nelson. So.
I'm here.
All right. Scott, can you hear Dr. Nelson?
I can. Yes, I can.
Okay.
Right.
So ask
Yeah, no, there. That's better.
All right, Scott. Go ahead with your question.
Yes. I had back surgery 5 years ago.
Oh. Can't you turn that off?
Is it my phone?
Yeah, it's your phone, ain't mine.
Tissue. What can I do to remedy the scar tissue and possibly improve, improve the nerve regeneration?
Where was the surgery done?
What's that?
What part of your body did you have the surgery done?
I had a couple of pieces of disc taken out of S1, S2, between S1 and S2, lower vertebrae.
Okay, did they do a fusion? No?
No fusion.
Okay, so the way that you have to, are you having symptoms from the scar tissue?
I do have pains, down the left in my buttocks and down my left thigh, leg. I don't really feel it in my foot, but I do have the drop foot in the left and drop toes. And I actually trip quite frequently, a few times every year. It's really dangerous because I usually fall into something. And
okay, well, you're kind of going in. I'm going to make a supposition for an answer here, which may not totally accurate because I can't get your whole question. The first thing we look at in a male with pain radiating down the left side, especially if it's inside the thigh, down to the toes, and especially to the left heel, if in fact that's what it is, somebody really needs to examine your prostate. In Chinese medicine, that's a prostate meridian. So that's issue one. Issue two, you can always call her office and I can give you a better answer. And I'll give you that, and you can leave a message for Linda because his connection is not very good. So Marilyn can repeat the number. It's area code 760.
Area code 7. Okay.
5001. 607765001.
Okay.
Did you get the number, Scott?
Yes, I did.
You got the phone number, Scott?
Doc,
You
could
can
you
call Marilyn later and get the number.
Doc, could you repeat that one more time for the listeners? Everybody, just let the doctor read off that number. Go ahead.
Office number is 760-776-5001. 760-776-5001.
And this is the number 2?
It's the number to my office, and if he calls, you'll probably get Linda at the front desk, or we'll get voicemail because we're busy. You leave your name and your number, and I will return your call. Most of my calls get returned at night or on weekends. Not too much during the week.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
Busy
Can I
guy.
ask another question?
Yeah.
I have, since I gained 65 pounds 5 years ago, I weigh myself on a scale that's it's one of those ones that measures...
Oh, boy, I can't hear.
Talk
Really
loud,
hard
Scott.
for me to hear.
Talk loud.
Okay. I have one of those mass scales that measure like different things in your body, and since 5 years of gaining 65 pounds, I actually have lower water levels by about 20%. I saw my water levels drop from over 60 down to about 49. How do I get my water level up in my body? What do I take, or what do I do?
Well, you say you're dehydrated, correct?
Yes, I'm more dehydrated than I was 5 years ago.
All right, so number one, you got an infection that's still there. Number two, we have to do some testing pretty simply on the pituitary, the adrenal, the thyroid, and the kidneys. And we can figure out why you're not retaining water. Although, if you do have an infection, you are going to lose water and you're going to lose salts. We actually have, if you have a blood panel, you can call back Linda, and we can always take a look at your blood panel. But continued dehydration, number one, that's part of society because of all the junk in the atmosphere. But number two, I would do some testing for, so you're urinating a lot or not?
What's that?
Urinating a lot, are you?
No, it's normal. I haven't noticed any differences there.
But we'd have to take a look at the hormone component that controls electrolytes. And something is not getting into your cells to allow the cells to hydrate. And we have German homeopathic compounds that will help you absorb the water, believe it or not. We also have, and these are all German British compounds. They're not made in this country, but they do work very well.
Yes.
So that's something else that we need to take a look at. So your particular case, I can't get all the particulars, but again, if you call the office and you tell them you were on the radio show with your name and your number, give it to Linda, then I have a clear connection. It's very difficult for me to get information on a connection that's not this clear.
Yes.
Okay.
I was going to ask you, Dr. Nelson, how you work, because you work in Palm Springs, and we're here in Stockton, and some people, call in from Chicago or whatever. This fellow is also from Stockton. How are you able to work with people from afar?
We use German scanning equipment, and I was taught how to remote test by the doctors in Germany when I worked at Baden-Baden.
So there
are people that know how to remote test. I happen to be one of them.
Oh, so you can do this remote testing, and
I do it all the time. I've got to do. In fact, later today I've got to do 6 remote people.
Wow! And if they need supplements, do you mail it to them?
Yes, we mail it to them. Yes.
Oh, okay. So you can do all this work from Palm Springs.
In fact, I'm treating about 7 patients in Canada right now.
Oh wow, that's where I'm from, Montreal. 2 million other people could possibly be your patient once I get started.
Right. Suffice it to say, there's a lot of confusion about what's going on with prior exposure, prior surgeries, you know, what your blood's like, what your history's like. And when I do that, I get all that information, so we're pretty accurate.
Yeah.
I'd say we're accurate about 80% of the time.
Well, that's just wonderful to hear, because so many people had that question. Oh, how can he fill a prescription if he's not there, and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. But now, like, I'll have, like, you know, I'll answer back. Because a lot of people, like, are quite interested in you. So let's see. And there was another girl, Lakeisha, calling. I'll call her. In the meantime, can you tell me what I should do about my Bartonella?
Well, again, we have, you try to get a hold of me in a couple days. We have some German homeopathic compounds that will start to deactivate that infection. And a few other things. But you've got to keep your acid base up. You have to, you know, have enough salt and water. You've got to do everything you can to keep sugar out of your mouth.
Yes, okay. Just a minute. I have to give
but
something to Governor Don. This is Lakeisha. She wanted to call next. Okay, so can you repeat what I have to do again?
Try to eliminate sugar, dairy, wheat, and fruit for at least 4 to 8 weeks.
Okay, sugar, fruit,
Increase your,
dairy,
consumption of
and
protein
wheat.
and,
I should do it for how many
green
weeks?
Vegetables.
So I can only eat vegetables and meat.
Yeah.
And I should do that for 4 weeks for my Bartonella.
Yeah.
And
Well, we still have to kill off the Bartonella. What we're trying to do is decrease the acidic environment that the infections live in. Okay.
so how would you kill off the Bartonella?
Well, we have the homeopathics. I said you call back. We have the homeopathic formulas that will kill it off.
So you have homeopathic remedies that will kill it off. So do I call your office and find out what they are, or how do we do that?
Well, yeah, the call office, make an appointment, and we'll figure it out. Okay.
So I have to call your office, make an appointment, and we'll figure this out.
Yeah.
Yes, between me and my friend, I think we're going to end up being your patients. I don't know if my friend can call in or not, but he's had a lot of heart trouble, and years ago you were helping him with his heart, and you sent in a supplement, and I thought he thought you were a bad doctor, so he stopped contacting you. But what it really was that he couldn't afford the next batch of supplement at that time. So he needs help with his heart. So what do you recommend? He's getting he had a heart attack 1.5 years ago, and constant panic attack, heart pain. And so what would you recommend for him? I think he wanted to call in, but I'm not sure if he has a phone.
Well, heart problems can be any one of a number of things. They could be an infection.
Mm-hmm.
They could be a thyroid problem.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a structural problem. Could be there's not enough oxygenation there.
Yes.
Heart problems.
He's very short of breath, short of oxygen, and he has constant panic attacks, and he has bad dreams where he wakes up and he can't move for about 4 hours. And he also had a heart attack 1.5 years ago. He's only 61.
Well, again, we do some testing on him. We find out what it is.
Yeah. So
it's not going to be caused by everything. It's going to be caused by a few things.
Okay. So he's to call in your office and make an appointment with you.
Same number.
Same number. Okay. So looks like me and my friend are already signed up. Okay. So the next lady we had is Lakeisha. Do you have her?
No, I guess she's got to call back. Trouble with her line.
Oh, okay.
I'm here. You're ready.
Yeah, unfortunately, Lakeisha got off the line. I know she wants to be on, but I don't know.
Marilyn, I had a question if I could ask the doctor.
Oh, well, our radio manager has his own personal question.
DocSteve, the question I had is about a lot of people, I think, with the modern agriculture exposure to a lot of chemicals, pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, whatever you want to call them. But there's a lot of toxins in the environment there, and then also with a lot of plastics in our world and the air quality, water quality. How much of the associated symptoms that people have are complications from environmental contaminants?
I had a book with Suzanne Summers about 6 years ago called Toxic.
Suzanne Summers wrote that?
I remember that book.
And I was on the phone with Ben Schrader, who is a professor at University of Miami, Richard Blaylock, quite a few other people.
Okay.
We cannot estimate really accurately but what comes from environmental toxins. But I would imagine, let's see, what did I pull up here? 50 to 60% of chronic illnesses can be from environmental toxins.
Wow, that's a huge number. The follow-up question would be, so how can we reduce our exposure or limit our exposure to these toxins? I mean, it's tough. You know, it's in the air, it's in the water, it's in our food. It's even coming out of our clothing. What do we do? What can we do to limit that exposure?
Well, there are pretty cheap instruments you can put in your house called clean air equipment, and it costs like under $200.
Oh, for $100 or $200
and you mount them in your house, and you will start emitting negative ions and start suppressing the expression of these toxins, which are all hooked to hydrogen.
Wow. So where can we buy it?
We have it through our office here. I have some biophysicists in Iowa that make them.
Now these is that the same thing as an air ionizer? We're talking about something different.
Oh, no. Air ionizers are very powerful. This does emit small amounts of ozone, but you can have it on all the time and it won't make you sick.
Excellent. And you said we can get information. I mean, I'm sure.
Call Linda.
Call Linda.
Name and number.
I'll give that number again, 760-776-5001 to speak.
Right, and the other thing is that we use a lot of saunas in our office, the near-infrared, far-infrared saunas.
Yeah.
They do work, but you have to have the right sauna. And if you interested in purchasing a sauna, these are very good saunas, and I would say delivered to your house anywhere in California is under $2,200, and it will last you a long time.
Now, you said it's an infrared sauna, so is that through the water, or is it steam?
No. That's a dry sauna.
Wow.
You sit in a cabinet and your head is above the frequency, because if you go into a closed sauna, you're going to dehydrate your brain.
Yeah, we wouldn't want that. That's wonderful advice that you've given on the last two products that we could possibly.
And the other thing is, we have homeopathics that will continue to detoxify you all the time at like 10 drops a day.
So you have these in your own office, the homeopathic remedies?
What's that?
You have the homeopathic remedies in your own office, Dr. Nelson?
Yes.
Well, that's very good to know, because I believe in that.
Marilyn, if you don't mind, just one more question. There's a lot of, it seems like, water is one of the most important ingredients to everything in our life. We drink water. You want us to be hydrated and all that. There's a lot of different kind of water filters. Alkali water is the big thing now. The hydrogen infused water is big. And so there's a lot of different things going on with water. I mean, other than just drinking, trying to find clean water, anything that you recommend?
Well, I work with a guy who's a water engineer, and he's out in North Carolina. And if you aren't interested about the water systems, and they're not expensive, they run anywhere from $300 up to a whole house, which is about $3,000. But there's all kinds of machines in between. I would say you can drink alkaline water if it's properly cleaned up with filtration, and it does, and we do add oxygen back to the water. But you never drink water that has a pH greater than 9.5 ever.
Never ever drink beyond 9.5. But
no, because then you're going to get too alkaline. Then you got other problems.
Then you'll have other problems.
Yeah.
So alkaline water. What else did you say about it that it had to have in it?
Well, we actually energize it with particular forms of gem crystals. Number one.
Gem crystals.
And number two, it gets reoxygenated, so it's purified. It's alkaline. Probably Linda has to get that. It's purified. It's slightly alkaline. It reoxygenates. There's a number of things that it does.
Oh, okay. So
thank you, Doc.
So, Doc, where do we get this water?
All you do is call Linda.
Oh, Linda. Everything leads to Linda. We just can't get well without Linda. Okay.
Linda needs a raise.
The problem is I cannot possibly take every phone call.
Oh, yeah, I understand. Okay. So
you help screen the call for me.
Okay. Is there did we get Lakeisha back?
No, not.
I really know what Lakeisha is my best friend, and I know she was going to call in, and
Do you know her question? Could you ask it?
Well, at least one of the questions I think she was going to ask, if she was brave enough, is Lakeisha really wants to know how to get rid of body fat. Lakeisha carries a lot of body fat, and what would you say is the quickest way to get rid of it? She carries a lot.
Okay. Body fat issue is based on the fact that they, number one, cannot metabolize sugar.
Oh.
Number two, they have an error in the pituitary gland or the production of a hormone called IGF-1. Number three, a great majority of them
What is an IGF-1?
have a low-grade yeast infection or parasites.
What is an IGF-1, if I may roll you back?
You got to get rid of the toxin before you start getting rid of the fat. We have formulas where you can apply directly on the skin and start getting rid of some of the fat. But that's a girl that needs to call me.
So you have formulas there, Dr. Nelson, at your place that can help roll back fat.
Yeah, we send it out. It's not hard to do.
Mm-hmm. Is it within the affordable range, or not bad?
We make it affordable to what people can afford. That's all.
Very nice of you and compassionate. Yes, so I knew that was going to be her major problem. Now, for me, I have only or too much, 40 pounds extra, and I cannot get rid of it for the life of me. This 40 pounds that I carry. I really should be, let's say, 130, and I'm 182. And I can't get rid of that weight for the life of me. I'm 5'6.5". So everybody just thinks I look tall and sturdy. Nobody calls me fat. But the thing is, I can't get rid of. I was always a thin girl, and I just can't get rid of this
fat.
I
mean, aside from some of the metabolic stuff I talked about, the big thing is you got to exercise.
Oh, maybe that's it. Exercise.
If you've got anybody has to walk at least, not far.
Yeah.
Maybe 1 or 2 blocks a day.
1 or 2 blocks a day.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah. And when I went to school here, I was doing that to get the bus. And we even ran sometimes to get it. But now, I finished that school and all those credentials with that school. So now I have to make sure that I get out and do that walk.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not. The misconception is you have to go to the gym and beat your brains in. That's not true. That's not true.
You don't have to go to the gym and beat your brains in the way we're all taught. We better work out at this Gym Fit or Gym Wit or whatever they have, We don't have to.
All you're trying to do is increase microcapillary blood flow. That's all you're doing.
You're just increasing blood flow by going to the gym. But it's not going to get rid of the fat we're talking about.
Oh yeah, you can get rid of resistant fat. Yeah. Now, I want to mention to you again. Hold on. last time, we had a really good conference call last night, and it's free.
Oh, yes. Mention that conference call.
Any of the people that are listening to this can get on the conference call and learn more.
Yes, this brilliant
And I'm
person
gonna give you
that,
that number.
yes, that brilliant person I was telling you about who knows what you know actually wrote down a number to your conference call. That's how brilliant he thought you were, because he knows what you know, and he knows that stuff. And so, yeah, talk about what you talk about on the conference call and give the numbers 3 times.
Well, first of all, if you get a hold of Nick,
Right.
he can direct you to our Facebook. All those calls are recorded on Facebook.
Wow.
Okay, so the number is every Wednesday night at 6:30 Pacific.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
6:30 Pacific, Wednesday.
641
Mm-hmm.
715
715
3580.
3580. Okay, keep repeating it.
There's 2 sets of numbers here.
Mm-hmm.
641 715 3580.
Mm-hmm.
And then the access code is 617921 pound.
Oh, there's an access code. Repeat the access code. That sounds a little complicated. Access code.
617921 pound.
6179. What did you say, pound? 917 pound? Did I get it?
617921 pound.
921 pound. That's 921 pound. Okay.
Right. And again, the number is every Wednesday night, 6:30 Pacific.
Mm-hmm.
641 715 3580. And then the access code is 617921 pound.
Okay. Did we ever get to finish what I was talking about with Bartonella? How to get rid of it?
No, but unfortunately, I'm out of time.
You're out of time yourself.
I'm out of time, so
Yeah.
we'll have to schedule this at another time.
Okay, because,
I've
yeah.
got 3 patients. We went next door, so
Okay, he's got 3 patients, guys. Okay, this is a pretty popular guy, and please call in and speak to Linda. Just give the number to Linda again, so we hope these people
number
become
for
patients. Mm-hmm.
760-776-5001.
760-5001. Did I get it wrong?
760-776-5001.
Ah, so in the middle is a 765. Okay. Yes, so call Linda. And this is a way you can become a patient of Dr. Nelson and ask your questions. And I'm certainly going to have to ask mine and my 2 friends who somehow had problems calling in. I know that they're interested in calling Linda too. So thank you so much, Dr. Nelson. I can't thank you enough. I always call you the genius of the geniuses.
Thank you for having me. You have a good afternoon, and we'll talk to you soon. All right?
Okay,
Thank you
remember,
very
it's
much.
my birthday. Okay.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye. Okay, folks, I guess we're going to end the Lyme show here because we have lost the genius of the geniuses, Dr. Nelson. You can watch this broadcast at KXVS. K as in kite, X as in xylophone, V as in Victor, S as in Sam, KXVS, voiceofstockton.org. Voiceofstockton.org. So I watch it at home, and I have a lot of fun seeing how I look. So thank you very, very much, everybody, and we'll see you next Thursday at 2 o'clock Pacific time. So did Lakeisha ever come back, or I asked her question?